Hi, I'm Nicholas Andrade with Nightingale College, and this is going to be my sterile hand washing and sterile glove video submission. For this lesson, I have here a pack of the sterile gloves as my equipment that I'll be using. Prior to starting my sterile hand washing technique, I need to first identify the correct set of gloves that I'll be using, inspect the packaging, make sure that there's no tampering. This is, of course, a new pack of gloves that I'll be using, and I need to make sure that it's not damp, it's not soiled, there's nothing on the gloves, and I need to place that into a sterile table. This is the table that I'll be using. Need to make sure that the table is, of course, dry and that there's nothing on the table that can cross-contaminate these gloves. Prior to starting the hand washing, I see here that, of course, no nail polish. Fingernails are trimmed an appropriate size and that there's nothing soiled. For the sake of this video submission, I will be manipulating the camera angle. In a real world setting, I would not be touching anything else outside of my workspace due to cross-contamination. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and angle the video to the side here to ensure that we can see a proper hand washing technique. So first thing I'll do is I'll come on over to my sink here. We're going to place the water in a appropriate flow. We don't want it too high or too low. We wanted a nice gradual water flow. The temperature, we want it to a warm temperature. I'm going to be washing my hands for 15 seconds using between 3 and 5 milliliters of the appropriate antimicrobial soap, and we'll go ahead and place that on there, lather. We're going to wash for, my elbows are going to be angled down and my wrists are going to be facing the downward position here as I wash my hands. This is to ensure that the water isn't traveling up my elbows here. The only time my fingers face upwards, of course, is while I'm washing and lathering my hands here. I have here to the side of me my paper towels, which I will use. And after the 15 seconds of hand washing, I make sure that I've got all my fingers, the backs of my hands, the wrist here. I will go ahead and I'm not going to flick my fingers like this. I will let the water drip. So instead of the flicking motion, the water will drip from my fingers here. I will keep my hands above my waist as I dry my hands here with the clean paper towel that I have. I'll dry it once. Hands stay in this position facing down. I don't elevate them high to dry them. I don't lift them up. I will dispose of the paper towel into the appropriate bin. Take a second paper towel to turn off my water. I'll dispose of that. And my third paper towel I'll use is to complete the drying. Hands are dry. Dispose of the final paper towel. Keeping my hands above my waist, I'm going to return to my table station where my gloves are. For the sake of the video, I will be moving the camera. In a real world scenario, I would not be touching anything after washing my hands. I would go from washing my hands to my gloves, my sterile apparatus here. For the video, I'll be moving the camera here so you can see my table. So keeping my hands above the waistline here, I'm going to come over. Now in a sterile filled, it is appropriate that I touch the gloves here, pinching them to open them. Take the gloves and I'm going to dispose of the packaging there. I will go ahead and place the gloves down and place them upright. Now it is appropriate to touch the top part of this. It's a sanitary field, it's a sterile environment, and I can touch under the flaps here to open it. And I can see that my gloves are upright and that they are folded over so that I can insert my hands without touching the outside of the gloves. I can touch the inside of the gloves, starting with my non-dominant hand. I'll take my non-dominant hand and grab the glove, touching just the inside, and I'm going to work my fingers into the grooves, and I'm not going to touch the outside of the glove, touching just the inside. Make sure that the gloves are on appropriately there. The next thing I'll do is take with my dominant hand the folded glove there. I'm going to manipulate my fingers into the glove without touching the outside of the glove, maintaining that sterile field, touching only the inside there. I'm going to keep my hands above my waist as I go from the sterile table to the procedure on my patient. While performing the procedure, I go ahead and treat my patient here, and then I can return to the table to remove the gloves, which I will be doing by taking my non-dominant hand, pinching the middle of the glove to be able to remove so that I'm not cross-contaminating. I'll go ahead and work the glove off without contaminating my hand. It folds inside out. I can go ahead and, with now my dominant hand, grab the inside of the non-dominant hand glove, roll that over, and dispose of it. Next thing I can do is dispose of the paper into the appropriate receptacle, and then I will sanitize or wash my hands again for the appropriate time, and then I will return to my workstation to document all the findings.